and welcome to the HomeBhoys.
Listen, you two idiots are rattling. Come on!
We're alive!
Sky TV done for us. What has it done for us? Is it give us a better product for their ladies?
We've been joined by a listener.
But they're maybe not tuning into shows like us to get informed. An informed opinion of what's really going on.
And it does me favours when the main pundits are people like Traynor and Chip Young, Keith Jackson, and all that, who are all driven by an agenda.
I've got a bad feeling about this, I've got a bad feeling about this. So I just reckon these people actually believe anything these monkeys tell them. You know, it's a sad reflection on society.
So, let's get down to business.
Hail, and welcome to HomeBhoys number 78, live here on the banks of the Boyne in a very dreary Drogheda. Welcome to the HomeBhoys show, part of the channel, the network that absolutely loves itself, and you might actually witness or hear somebody eating themselves live on the air tonight, so there you go, that's how much we love us, right? We might not even talk about Celtic as usual, right? So, I'm your host, David Harper. Joe's taking a wee break for pushing the buttons tonight, so everything's going to run very, very smooth, as you can guess. So, Joe, are you there, man?
I am. You're still cutting out a bit, so I mean, this is
terrible.
This is amateur. I mean, our listeners are used to better than this.
The listeners can hear it loud and clear. There's nothing breaking up this end. Like, must be my mic. Maybe something wrong with my mic. I don't know. So anyway, Paul, you're there. Paul. Yes, you're there. Stephen.
Barely hear you, like.
Stephen.
I am here.
And Jason.
Yep, loud and clear.
You really having that much a problem hearing me that bad, like?
No, really. It's not great, but it's no
terrible. That's it, like.
Is it?
Oh, really bad. I can barely hear you as well.
I can hear you, all right.
Everybody can hear it fine in the chat room. It's your end, so you'll be able to pick up. It'll maybe get better, right? We'll just see what happens. You know what I mean? Just stop being so precious. Right, so listen, let's just get straight into things. Hearts game at the weekend. I'm going to have to admit, I'm ashamed to say, I didn't get home till 3:05, so I missed the first goal. I saw the rest of the first half, then I fell asleep at half time, and then I never woke up again till about 6 o'clock. So that was me. So, Jason, I'm just going to hand it straight over to you, man.
Okay. I took my daughter, my niece, to the two of them. I just got in just before the game kicked off. So it was about 5 minutes into the game when I looked and I realised it wasn't Big Fraser Forster. It was in goal. So I was saying to the boy next to us, that's Zaluskas. But anyway, off to a great start. Early goal. which is always excellent, because we've been going on about that, how we should be battering teams right from the start, and we couldn't ask for any more than that. Hooper deadly. Adam Matthews, I thought he had a great game in the hole, but he had a good run down the wing and done a 1-2 with a Hearts player, and then just crossed it into Hooper, and he's poacher's instinct. And then Big Samaras for the second goal again. Just another sort of, he was in the right place at the right time. Great goal. And for the life of me, I have no idea how Hearts got back into it, because they were absolutely awful. Either they were awful or we were like the Brazil team in the 70s. But I think it was more erring on the side of them being awful. And they get in after about 70 minutes. We had a deflected shot. I think it came off Mulgrew's back or something like that. So you couldn't really blame Zaliskas for letting the goal in. And then at the end, it started, maybe you were thinking we were going to get a wee bit nervy, but then Hooper second, and he actually get one. I'd like to see I predicted on Celtic Minded, I predicted that Celtic would win 5-1 and Hooper would get a hat-trick, and he got a goal disallowed, and I'd love to see it for another angle, because I'm not sure he was offside. But there you go. But and then Big Lassad at the end. I was more than happy with the performance. I thought Adam Matthews played really well. I thought Victor Wanyama strolled through the game. I actually thought Azagiri done okay, and I know I was listening to a few other podcasts and people were getting a bit down on Azagiri. I thought he was alright. He put a couple of good cross balls in, hit the byline a few times. I thought it was not too bad. Big Samaras is just, he's a big enigma. He's been the first name in your team sheet, especially in Europe and against top class opposition. He shines, but he can fall in and out of games. I don't think he's better game, but he's got me totally turned. You know, I was always the useless genius mantra with Samaras, but he's turned me, and he's definitely he's a mainstay of the team. And I think it's interesting with the transfer window, none of us are even talking about Samaras going somewhere, so I think that's pretty good. I think he's pretty committed to the cause. Hooper deadly, 2 great finishes. So, that's my view. More than happy, Harper, and thought the Green Brigade were excellent with their wee flags noising up the Jambos.
We'll come to that.
And one thing I would like to say as well, I know we're going to touch on Sean Fallon, but I thought the Hearts fans, they observed the minute's applause. For what I could see, every one of them applauded, so fair play to them for that.
Very good. As I say, I missed the start, so I never seen that, but I would expect that, to be honest. Paul, I'll just hand over to you. In fact, Jason, if you could just conduct things for a minute, right? Because I'm going to go make sure Vicky's not using the internet, and maybe that's what's causing problems.
All right, there you go. Right, Paul, you were at the game, mate?
I certainly was, aye.
Yep. Give us your opinions. What do you think? Do you disagree with me, or do you agree?
No, I mean, I don't. I know Hearts are bad, but I thought it was the best performance in Celtic Park this season by a mile.
Oh, I agree. Yep.
Completely controlled the game for 85 minutes. There was a 5-minute spell when they got the lucky goal. Can't beat an abject humiliation of Hearts on and off the park at anything. And I think it's. I remember when we beat them at Tynecastle here in November, and Chris Coleman said after the game, manager had said to them, if you go to this team, you'll get goals. And I think that's exactly what we've done again on Saturday, because they've got a very brittle defence. I mean, I can't believe they sent that Danny Wilson on loan. He's played out 4 games for Liverpool in 5 years or whatever. And, he'd come back and he could have got a bus down the left-hand side of the Hearts defence on Saturday. Young boy McCarthy and Wilson. Delighted to see Ledley back. I'm a huge fan of Joe Ledley, and I think that we often have people phone up this show and say, I can't see what he does and all that. And I keep saying what he does is he runs at the defence in a line that people hate defending against. They don't know how to defend against the runs he makes. And when he's not actually doing the damage himself, he's creating space for our other players. And you see the goals he scored on Saturday, he could have walked them into the net, quite frankly, because they were pushing so hard against their defence. He had to sit so deep to try and combat these kind of runs. Yep. So, and a big crowd.
He was very unlucky not to score himself, Paul. He had a great shot in the second half. What a save! I think it was a great save for their keeper, but just instinctive, and I thought it was a great move. Mm-hmm. And I would agree with that.
The goal you say you're offside. I mean, where I was sitting, he looked like he ran past. Hooper, he scored the goal. Couldn't see anything wrong with that. And of course, that kind of leads on to the abysmal yet again performance of Ian Brines, who just doesn't. I mean, there's 3 things I wanted to point out about Brines. The first one was Andy Webster went clattering into the back of Gary Hooper. he gave him a stern talk to me, and he done it within 35 seconds. He gave the talk to me, and he never spoke to him. He used 2 throw-ins that were clearly Celtic throw-ins to Hearts on the advice of a linesman who was standing 50 yards away, and he's standing 5 yards for it. And the one where he booked Bar, and then Bar just sliced open Azagiri again. It's just incredible, and it's, I like the fact that we can overcome these kind of things, because it always seems to be the more established referees that these things happen against. But overall, there's almost 50,000 there, fantastic given the conditions. As you say, the Green Brigade were fantastic, slagging off Wallace Mercer, slagging off Hearts, brilliant as far as I'm concerned, and kind of long may it continue.
Aye, no, I totally agree. Is Harper back?
I'm back, man. She was on eBay. I says, you can't go on eBay. That'll be mucking everything up. Stops her spending money anyway.
That is better now. It's a better connection.
Aye, yes.
So she's probably up to something and not telling me the truth. Anyway. it's off anyway. So, Stephen, I'll come to you. Just, I kind of missed a lot of what Paul said there. I was having a look at the lineups when I was working on Saturday. That's how I missed the start of the game. And I think that the big debate was going to be with Kelvin Wilson and Ambrose away to the African nations, what the defence was going to be. I was quite surprised that Lustig, it was Matthews, Lustig, who else? I can't remember what the defence was.
Azagiri
and Mulgrew. What did you think of that? I mean, it seemed to go. Was it just because it was Hearts? It was too easy, or were they not really tested? Or I wouldn't fancy going in with that to Juventus with that defence. Like, of course, Wilson will be back then. But
I thought Matthews was excellent. I thought the 2 centre halves, Mulgrew and Lustig, they didn't really get tested much, to be honest with you, but they got a lot of protection again. For Paul touched on Ledley being back in the team. Mm-hmm. So it kept the shape well. I thought Commons done okay. He's looking a wee bit chubby again, but he done all right. Brown fine. And to be fair, Celtic ran riot against them. We could have scored 10.
See, just sticking with the defence. So did it say a lot about Ronye that Lustig started the centre half?
Potentially, he was on the bench, Rogner.
That's what I mean. Because you were sort of thinking he came into that Hibs game, and you were thinking, is this him getting a run out because he's going to be needed the next couple of games? Well, we've signed the Israeli boy, and then Lustig's slotted in there, and I don't know. It doesn't look too great for Thomas Ronye. Like.
Chicken legs. I'd rather play Bangura at centre half. I think he'd finish for him. You know what I mean?
I think that.
He wasn't even in the squad. Outrageous.
That's a wee bit.
After that goal against the European unknown team from Tony Ross' perspective.
He was like, who let me that goal, I tell you? Shameless. I nearly walked out the ground through my season ticket at Lowell. Had enough.
Yeah, I think you're being maybe a wee bit harsh on Ronye there. Like, I don't think he's that bad. That'd be what.
He's no my top 3 Celtic fanny boys listed at the moment, but we're not going to go down that negativity rounds. But no, that to me, Saturday to me was, they always have been. Hearts, Albion Lowey coming to Celtic Park has always been, for all the years I've been going to Celtic Park, I just love them coming to Parkhead. They're like, they always were the diet version of we're all the party friends. It's just great. It's fantastic atmosphere, as the boys say. Just good afternoons with a football, worth the sports scenes 3 minutes 14 seconds that we got after.
Did you know that as well? That's the worst Hearts support ever in living memory that's came to Celtic Park.
Well, there's a reason for that. Hearts actually I think you had A, mixed majority, respecting the minutes of applause, and B, none of the nutcase mob were there, basically.
Right. This is breaking up again, Harper. What's she up to?
I think she set up a side business on free cams or something.
No, do you know what? I just think it's my internet. I just think it's maybe the weather and all that here. Like, I don't know, man. It's still there.
Sorry, Paul, I missed a lot of that. What were you saying for the reason for their terrible support? Sorry, I missed most of that. You said
Hearts basically scrutinised every person who was buying a ticket on the game on Saturday, and they stopped to let people go on, and I think that's why the majority of them respected the minutes of applause and why none of the sort of nutcase mob was there on Saturday.
Have Hearts fans chucked it?
Well, it's funny you say that, Harper, because he's all probably not listening in that. They're playing a semi-final at Easter Road on Saturday against Inverness. It's not on the Terpy, and it's only £15 to get in, and they've only sold 8,000 tickets for it.
That's frightening, eh?
It's the first time I've ever seen that lot coming through to Edinburgh without that certain flag with them. I've never seen any of them for a party fair.
None of them were there at all, no.
Mm-hmm. Talking of flags, Joe. did you see the game at the weekend, or were you up defending Belfast City Hall?
No, I seen the game. I missed the first goal. I missed the start of the game. I missed the applause. I missed the first goal, but I got to watch it from about the 5th minute on. And
that sounds like me and you were doing something there.
I know. The reason I couldn't watch it was I was waiting for it to come on stream, basically. So just waiting. That was all it was. But then I watched the game, sort of in between washing the dishes in the kitchen, and I thought fantastic. I thought Matthews was absolutely amazing. I agree with Paul. It's great to see Joe Ledley back, because I've always been a big fan of Joe Ledley's ever since the start. And I thought Izagiri looked really, really good too. I mean, I thought he looked like a brand new player.
He'll see what he's going to go from strength to strength now he's passed his driving test. Like.
Absolutely.
I seen that on Facebook today. So that's him past his test. So he's had a lot in his mind, poor wee chap.
So watch yourselves in the motorway. He comes racing past you.
Can't it be easy to learn to drive in Glasgow when you didn't speak much English? Like?
Well, the guy who done it with my brother Paul through his driving test, Joe Sullivan, he's been doing the Celtic players for, Jesus, must be more than 20 years now, so I fair play to him. He's played on Celtic Park a few times as well.
Nah, he was never going to fail Pope Paul though, was he?
Paul failed once actually, but he doesn't listen to this, so I can say that, but he'll never admit that if you ever do.
So anyway, further thoughts then on the Hearts game. As I say, I never seen much of it, so I can't really comment. What am I going to say?
I thought Big Lassard coming on at the end, I thought it was interesting. I was hoping I'd seen Stokes. I thought Stokes would maybe get a wee run it. But seeing as he looked lively enough out in Marbella when we played the friendly. But so Lassard comes on about 75 minutes for Matthews. Sick Note comes on for Commons, Barrett's favourite. And Kyle comes on for Ledley. Obviously, I think Ledley was just that precaution. Obviously, he's not much game time, so we gave him like 3/4 of the game. But I'd have liked to see McGeoch, I'd have liked to see Stokes, but you can't keep everybody happy. And I think the performance, Paul said, second to none, and you would take that. I mean, bearing in mind, as this season's went, all our home performances, we're winning them with the odd goal. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's the first time we've really put somebody to the sword at home.
It was funny, I was listening to the Lost Boys podcast on Saturday morning, and they were talking about that. Chris was saying we've not really hammered many teams this season, and they were looking at it. And they were kind of saying, I think we'll kick on. This is the time to kick on. Hearts is the perfect game to do it. Coming back refreshed for the winter break, had a couple of weeks in the sun. All the players are still there. Everybody's come back from injury. Well, it's time to kick on. And Hearts game's a big game, big crowd, as you said, great atmosphere. A big result, and it's another big game coming tomorrow night, obviously, as well. Like.
Mm-hmm. Aye, and they had a good result at the weekend, you know. Mm-hmm. And obviously that bit of skill for Mackay Stevens was excellent. Oh, it didn't win it then, but it was that gets you off your seat. And a hat trick for Johnny Russell, but that was a good result for them. They're at Kilmarnock, so I expect a decent game tomorrow night. But no, as I say, I think it was Paul touched on it. The manner we won on Saturday, we really battered them. You know, and it's good to see, and it's good to see when they're all playing as one, and they're putting a team to the sword. As I say, we could have scored quite a few more, and that was an excellent performance.
The one thing I'd like to say, sorry Stephen, is just that when Hearts did score, I thought that when it was a bit nervy, and I think it was primarily because of the fact that we were winning 2-0, we're so far ahead of them, then all of a sudden they're going to go behind us, and they're saying, Christ, if he moves this now. I thought after that, Scott Brown's use of the ball was absolutely phenomenal. He was all over the pitch, just keeping things calm, getting us back in our stride, keeping people in the game, making runs, and that was what led to us stepping up again and scoring 2 goals in the last 5 minutes. I also often think that I'm not saying Scott Brown's a false goals type passer, but he uses the ball short, pass in. You know, he just moves it around the pitch, and he just gets you, just alleviates that wee bit of pressure you might be feeling, and then that I think gave us the second one to go and score the last 2 goals.
Neil Lennon.
Aye. and he doesn't hide, and he takes responsibility. For as 2-1, he's saying, right, well, I'll take responsibility and I'll sort of lead the charge. And we didn't look back, and it was I was panicking a wee bit. I'm saying to myself, here we go again. This could be 2 each, and what a body blow it would be after absolutely humping them for the full game. And then you're saying, but no, it was a guy I work with. He always says 2-0 is a horrible lead because within split seconds, your heart can be in your mouth again. And,
what you said though, Paul, about Joe Ledley, guys like Joe Ledley, I know when he went off, etc., and we thought the game was in the bag at that point, but as soon as Joe goes off, he realises how much he does for the team. It's the same as Fraser Foster. We might be getting complacent, thinking that the big man's in goal, and it's no disrespect to the big Polish boy we've got in there, and maybe in years gone by we'd have pinned our hopes on him being our saviour, but I felt personally, but the odd time Hearts did get forward, I didn't feel as confident and secure as I am when you've got Ambrose sitting there and Wilson, etc. I'd rather, I know Boric is playing tonight for Southampton, I'd rather be sold Zaluska and just get the holy goalie back, throw him in with the Green Brigade with some pyros on the subs bench. The atmosphere down,
By the way, a wee update on Ambrose. Ambrose has just been sent off in the African Nations Cup. Second yellow, 75 minutes. Nigeria. It's one each. Burkina Faso's equalised in the last minute, 90 minutes. The big Ambrose gets sent off in 75 minutes. So is that him banned?
He must come back home. He must come back.
Sooner the better.
Missing the cold weather. See what you're saying there, just on Stephen about Zayuska. I kind of feel sorry for the boy coming in, because you didn't play forever, and it must be hard for keepers need to play. Do you know what I mean? The keepers build form, they build confidence, and it must be hard for a keeper to come in at likes of Celtic and just come straight into that and into the team and be expected to perform. I know it's his job. But I'm always wary about being harsh on any reserve keeper that comes in who doesn't get many games, especially when there's no reserve league or anything so they're just no playing. Do you know what I mean? They're just kicking their heels and they're just training and that's it.
Can they not play in that youth league? You're not allowed 2 overage players.
But to be honest, I think our youth keeper plays. I'm not being smart about that, but I think we've got young boys in there who probably need to develop themselves. Do you know what I mean?
There's a sprinkling sort of first team players playing for Hull tonight against Motherwell, Stokes, and the boy Gerson and that. And there's a boy I know who's there, and he said, by the way, this Gerson is absolutely different class.
Excellent.
So, that hopefully augurs well. But I totally agree with you, Harper. I think Zaluska, for me, if somebody was saying, what would you say about him? I'd say he's a good number 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of is it? And we've had Foster progress so much in the last year and a half, that there was a kind of, my God, that is Zaluska playing, isn't it? It's Christ Almighty, what's happened here on Saturday for people. It must be so hard just to go in there, because goalkeeping's all about concentration, isn't it? And you've got to especially when you're playing for Celtic, and especially when you're playing in a game where you're absolutely battering the opposition. But I thought he'd done all right. I didn't think he had much chance of the goal. Maybe his position was sus, but we wouldn't really question anything else he done.
See, when you just mentioned for Hull there, I only seen it briefly and what the day. I can't really access Twitter or anything like that when I'm at work, and just if I'm on the break or sitting on the pan or something, no. And is there any truth in the brief tweets I seen that Paddy McCourt was going to Partick Thistle on loan to the end of the season, and that they'd signed Bobo Baldy until the end of the season?
First I've heard it.
No.
I heard Baldy's training with him. I've heard that, but that'll be obviously Simon Donnelly and Jackie Mack sort of thing, I would think. But I've never heard then with the Paddy McCourt stuff.
Right, I didn't even know Big Bobo was still playing football.
No, me either.
Must be a decent age now,
Well,
63, I think.
I saw him at Celtic Park. I saw him at Celtic Park at the start of the season, and I swear to God, I would defy anybody to recognise him now, because he's lost about 4 or 5 stone.
Really?
The body sort of weight and muscle that he had. He just isn't that type of guy at all now. It's really weird seeing him, actually.
That's interesting. I'd be interested to see if he pulls a strip on for Partick Thistle. Keep an eye on that. That's one to keep an eye on. No, the Paddy McCourt thing, I just heard that, and to be honest, I thought I really wanted that to happen for Paddy. I'd love to see him going away and getting a wee run at with Partick Thistle, play at the end of the season, play every week, see what he can do there. And maybe
he's better than Partick Thistle.
No, but just to get him playing till the end of the season, maybe people can go and watch him then, Jason, Do you know what I mean? Who maybe got an eye on him. They can go and watch him playing every week. Say, all right, let's take Paddy McCourt. I would expect him then at the end of the season to move up a level again. Like, do you know what I mean?
Aye.
But no, because Paddy needs to move on. As much as a Paddy fan I am, I want him to go see him playing football somewhere. Like,
Yep.
I think it's done for him at Celtic now. Let's be honest.
I think it was done for a while ago.
Oh, I knew. How did I know you were going to chime in?
I think he should have sort of moved on earlier than this. Right?
Well, it's hard. I mean, he's probably happy. He's playing for the club that he supports. So I defy anybody if he's happy where he is.
No, here Harper, he's playing poker with Lucas Zaluska. That's what he's doing. He's not playing for anybody.
Well, but I mean, do you know what I mean? He's happy. He's obviously happy at Celtic because he had offers. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think I didn't really buy into this lackey ambition stuff or anything like that. If you go to a club and that's the place you want to be, and you're getting your money, well, why not? Neil Lennon obviously still uses him quite a lot on the bench. Maybe not as much as he was last season, but he was the most used sub in the SPL last season. So he was still thought of. Do you know what I mean? I just think when everybody's fit, he's slipping down the pecking order more and more. Like, and he is becoming less effective every time he comes on it. People just have him sussed.
But did you not think the writing's been on the wall for a while, like given the shape of the team, the way the team has been built? I mean, I said it about 6-7 months ago. I didn't think there was any place for Paddy McCourt.
No, I disagree with that because I could see us bringing in another player in the similar mould. I could certainly see us going off after your man Mackay Stevens.
I don't think since Nakamura left we've played with like a number 10 type player.
No.
So I don't think the formation's built for the type of player that Paddy is.
No, but Jason, do you not think that Lennon likes to have somebody like that he can use him if he needs him? Because how often it's Paddy that gets flung on for that last 15 minutes to try and maybe turn a tight game, and I could see us signing another player, but a younger version. Like, I mean, I would love to see that Mackay Stevens at Celtic.
He's a good player. Good player.
Did you do the food survey? I shared myself in both Paul a pie and Bovril for his birthday on Saturday. That was a travesty. He asked me for a Tesco burger instead. You know, the pie wasn't the best. But I found them all. I tweeted the MB, the Whaley's boys set up to get everybody's comments to go back to Celtic. But I ordered 3 Bovrils and they didn't even have a basic carton holder to put 3 drinks in. The staff, God love them, they got me a wee cardboard box to carry them in, you know, it's like Dunkirk down there. That was 20 minutes in.
And you're paying about, what, £5 odd for 3 Oxo cubes and a bit of boiling water?
Well, I think I tweeted you, I met Mad Tommy at half time and he had a representative, somebody that actually worked with Barcelona Football Club with him and his Polish supermodel girlfriend, and the boy at Barcelona's got this pie looking at me and I said, "Oh, welcome to Glasgow," and he's just saying, "I love the ground, but what is this?" He didn't even know how we attempt to eat the pie. And they were going to Edinburgh the following day, and I said, "Look, pop into Harvey Nichols for lunch, blah blah blah." Told him the prices, and the guy went,
"Away you go, you Harvey Nichols."
Chicken Caesar
you
salad.
stay in Rutherford and you come for the milk and you thought it was Harvey Nichols.
Easy, lad, easy. Bit of class to show. We're trying to get up market. Chicken Caesar salad, fries and a cocktail. No, there's a method, bear with me. Chicken Caesar salad, fries and a cocktail for a tenner, and the boy faced me and went, "Stephen, that's what a pie, a pizza and a drink has cost me here." And he looked at the food and he went, "I can go to Harvey Nichols and get something for the same price." I went, "You kidding me, man?" So there you go.
Stephen, did this really happen?
It did. Yeah, Tommy Gold was there. Thomas will back it up. He'll phone in.
I just wondered who's ordering chicken Caesar salad and chips.
How do you get on to talking about Harvey Nichols chicken Caesar salad when you're in the pie queue at Parkhead?
I know, it's a travesty, isn't it?
What's this getting through your head?
Trying to shame the stadium manager.
Oh man, brilliant. See, I know we're maybe going to discuss transfers and speculation or stuff like that, but you get that on the agenda?
I get it.
Right, well, I was driving, so I had the kids on Saturday, so I got into the car after the game, and it was the guy that's he was on Radio Scotland. The boy, I think he's an agent. Is it that Alan Preston?
Aye.
Is he anything to do with an agency?
He is, aye.
He's the agent. He was because somebody was saying he was the agent. He's the agent of Danny Wilson, in fact.
Aye, and this is what I'm going to talk about, right? So, you had Graham Spears on, and Graham Spears is on about Danny Wilson should have stayed at Rangers for his development and stuff like that. So that boy, the guy Preston wasn't committing to none, he wasn't telling you any figures and stuff like that. So Graham Spears is on about, well, Rangers would have offered Danny Wilson 5 to 6 grand a week. And he's speaking for a point of authority, and Preston's sort of not saying much, and then he's like, well, I can tell you he wasn't offered anywhere near that. And Spears is like, I'll disagree with this. That Wilson guy there, that Preston's his agent, I think he would bloody know what he was offering him. And then he's turned around and said, see when he signed for Liverpool, he was multiplying his wages by 10 for what Rangers offered him. And he also said that, see the young boy Fraser for Aberdeen, he's multiplied his wages by 10 by signing for Bournemouth.
Crazy.
I was shocked. You know, you're saying to yourself, I knew Scottish football was in a bit of a pickle with money, but if Bournemouth are paying 10 times the wages that Aberdeen are paying.
So what are we going to guess at as 10 grand?
I think so, eh?
He was maybe getting a grand at Aberdeen, 10 grand at Bournemouth.
Maybe 5 grand, maybe it was on 500 with Aberdeen or whatever, I don't know. But
it must be made 500, surely.
I mean, this boy Peter Houston, I mean, he's won the Scottish Cup for only the second time in Dundee United's history, and they're telling him to take a wage drop to sign a new contract. You know, and you're just saying to yourself, what is actually going on out there? I mean, obviously, Partick Thistle, their average wage is 250 quid a week. That's what they're getting, Joe. That's lower than the minimum wage. They're full time, so they're obviously home as young kids. Obviously, with no overhead, staying with their parents and saying this can be your short window to try and get a move to a bigger club.
I hope somebody's told Bobo.
That's why they keep losing their players. That's why they keep losing their players, I know, for free, because they can't afford to give them a new contract that's going to make them stay. And then, you know, take the example of Paul Kearney, who's on about 500 quid a week at Thistle. You know, Hibs will probably give him about 2.5, and he's delighted.
There's your man Scott Drog in the chat room saying your man was on £700 at Aberdeen and he's now on 7 grand.
There you go. Aye.
Frightening, eh?
700 quid you're only getting paid a week with Aberdeen. I mean, it's more than most are getting for a normal jobs, you know what I mean? But I'm no downcrying 700 quid a week, which is a good wage. But in football terms, when you're looking at these football players, you're saying to yourself, the money that can be made in football, well, we're just looking at Scotland. It's a drop in the ocean, isn't it?
See, to be honest though, wait a minute, it's not a big wage when you think about your career's over at 35.
No, I know.
Do you know what I mean? And maybe these boys have maybe no trained for anything else in their life, and at £700, you're not going to bank much of that, like.
No, and you're looking at guys like John Kennedy. Your career can be over in a blink of an eye.
But you're saying that, though, the game's getting back to what players were, probably guys like Roy Aitken and Tommy Burns, God rest his soul, were that sort of money when they were playing. So why don't the prices go back down in price?
I know what you're saying, Stephen, but I think in relative terms, Tommy Burns and that were on a lot more than the normal guy in the street. Well, a lot more, maybe 4 times what they were on. I don't think these guys nowadays, some of these guys are on less than the normal guy in the street's on. When you're looking at the average wage, say the average wage in the west of Scotland for between 20 and 30-year-old people is what, 20 grand a year or something like that. That's a conservative estimate. These guys will be on similar to that.
I think it's very interesting, a club like Bournemouth, which for the last 10 years has flirted in and out of administration, are able to poach back Eddie Howe, who's a very highly respected coach, back down to the South Coast, and then pay the wages, obviously, to get the boy. I've seen somebody mention also that there's a very big sell-on fee. But sell-on clause, actually, if once that boy to Aberdeen moves on. But I think it's a good move to him. I mean, you look at other lads that have moved to England and their careers of, look at Liam Miller, real what happened to him, you know.
How much did Aberdeen get for this boy?
I think it's 400
grand, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably not a bad bit of business for them as well, because he only played 11 games, I'm reading.
Aye.
For Aberdeen, 11 first-team games, so it's probably no bad bit of business for them as well.
Parrick, can you not get Harvey Nichols to sponsor Aberdeen? Maybe get a bit of wealth back into the game.
Sponsor HomeBhoys.
I don't know if Larkin was in the Capitals at the time. I was in it the night they had the MTV Awards, and Leaf and the main 3 mechanics were in the outside bar drinking MTV cocktails. They were all stinking of diesel and I was smelling of Tipex, but we still got into it. That was tremendous.
I was outside selling the big issue.
Don't give me that laugh to your scam with your Yankees hat on. I found out another closet Yankees fan.
The New York Yankees in one wink of an eye. Honestly. Inside the mind of Stephen Monahan. There's the next one.
Wally Keane was cutting about the Gallagher by New York Yankees hat on Saturday. I really hit me with my fly swat, this girl.
You want about my fly swat in your pocket, like?
See that doing that Gallagher with some of the flies coming after the old birds, mate, I tell you.
So listen, back on track with the transfer rumours. What do we reckon? Obviously.
Well, wait, Jason, you brought up Dundee United, so start there.
Yeah, no, well, I'm talking Celtic first of all. So we've got Gershon in.
Right.
Got him in loan. And we've got an Australian, Thomas Rogney. Sound like... Thomas Rogic. Tom Rogic or whatever. I think he's Serbian descent or whatever his parents were. So we've got him in. He's, by all accounts, the Yankees work permit was agreed today. So
just on him, Jason, Paul will back me up on this. The boys are going to... HomeBhoys down under on Friday, Paul?
Yeah, we've got an interview with a guy called Ray Gatt, who's like a kind of sports journalist over there, and he's going to give the lowdown on Tom Rogic. And we never know, but we might just be able to grab an interview with Tom Rogic's agent as well. So that'll be Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning, Celtic Park time. Hopefully we'll have the first one, but hopefully we'll have the both of them.
Okay, excellent stuff. And then, what about our Juan Aguedo, the American guy? Has that went quiet? I thought that was looking as if it was... It's went a bit quiet, So apart from that, I know we're getting linked with guys down in England, and you were discussing it on that thread earlier. 7 million, you're not paying any money like that.
No.
You know, to me, it's just hopefully we can keep our players. We can keep Wanyama, we can keep Hooper, and we can keep it. I don't think Big Fraser Foster's going to go, but they're the 3 crown jewels for me. And Hooper, I know there's press speculation Norwich City put a bid in, but surely to God, I mean, at the end of the day, I can't see Norwich City offering 10 times what Gary Hooper's on.
No, but he could probably double his money there. The biggest surprise would be if you got for Gary Hooper to go to Norwich. He's got to be facing the fact that there's a good chance to be playing the Championship next season. So I don't know. I think there'll be other bigger clubs will come in for Gary Hooper. I
mean, if you were him, you would take a punt at it as well. You would stay. You would see how we got on in the Champions League, and then you would. I don't know, because it's the mindset of these guys. Do they sign a new deal and get more money in their pocket, or do they hang it out because they'll get more of a drop when they sign for their new club? You know, and for Celtic's point of view, for the business plan, if he's making noises that he is going to leave in the summer, do we get a lot less in the summer than if we sell him at Christmas?
I don't know that we'll get a lot less. The fact that I think there could be more clubs I'll come in from in the summer. I'm not saying there's going to be a mad bidding war, but I think there could be clubs competing, and somebody will just come in and say, well, we want him this bad, and come in. I don't think we'd get any less in the summer than we'd get now. I think there'd be more clubs shopping in the summer.
Okay. What concerns me is that after the game on Saturday, Neil Lennon says he couldn't guarantee him time for the end of January, and Nialby done an interview today where he basically started talking about potential replacements. Now, that's actually me, the club going, we need to start grooming the fans for the fact he's going to leave.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know if it means that Cooper's gave him a nod and said, nah, I actually want to go back to England now, this week your best chance, etc. But it does, there's just a part of me thinks that he's maybe just said, nah, actually I want to go now.
I think 7 or 8 million would see him sold. Like.
Mm-hmm. So with that, aye.
I don't think it's going to hurt his agents, because his agents will go down in the position saying that if Norwich were to go, if they went to Norwich and they got relegated, it would mean then they would have a clause that Norwich would sell him on and they would get another flip fee again, you know.
But Norwich aren't going to give him a clause like that for maybe only have him for 6 months and pay good money for him. No way, that deal wouldn't happen. So, but wait, I want to come back to Dundee United. If we're talking about, we've been joined by a caller, but I'll get to you in a minute, Snake, right? Because this is stuck in my head. Just you're talking about Dundee United then, right? And they're looking for the manager to take a wage drop and that. Is this a team who are desperate for money? Because I want to see Johnny Russell and Mackay Stevens in Celtic jerseys, and I know that's damaging to the Scottish game, I suppose, and it's taking the best players for other teams, but they're 2 guys I think that would really kick on and develop with Celtic. I don't know what you think. I mean, especially Johnny Russell. He could be Hooper's replacement for me.
Stokes is better than Johnny Russell.
Do you think so? I don't know about that. I'm a big Stokes fan. I think Johnny Russell's got it all. Like.
See, when you look at his goal scoring record, it's not very good.
I think he scored a lot of goals at Celtic though.
Aye. Maybe so.
I know Mackay Stevens had a ferocious injury record when he was at Liverpool, you know, in Dundee United. Well, I think he went back to Derby and then he went to Dundee United. So, I mean, if he stayed fit, I mean, I'd like to see Dylan. I don't know if he's any better than Dylan McGee. I'd like to see Dylan get that in.
I know. To be honest, I mean, I hope we just keep the players. If we kept everybody we've got, we don't need to sign anybody. To be honest,
I had a wee moment of panic when I seen the team lineup on Saturday because Forster wasn't in it.
I saw
immediately
that.
my cynic went, oh, Jesus Christ, he's down south somewhere in Man United, cracking a deal, but it just turns out his neck.
I text Chuck, you know Chuck, Joe, and I says, I was the same as you. I says, my God, where's Forster? And he says, it's all right, he's sitting behind me. He's got a slow neck. Because Chuck sits in the main stand right in front of that.
Sat in Chick's seat, sir.
And like the sort of players' lounge is just behind him. He says, no, don't worry, he's behind me there at the glass window. Like he's seemingly he's hurt his neck. So as I said, we're going to have the raffle. We're still going to talk transfers, I suppose. But I just wanted to say, I forgot to say at the start, we're going to have the draw for the big raffle around about 8:30 or 20 to 9, something like that. Depends on how we get to it and how the chat's going. And anybody, I'll put the link. I'll tweet you the link earlier. Your names are against numbers on the Hail Hail Media website, but it's an old blog. It's on that blog that announced the competition. But anyway, I'll stick it in the chat room closer to the time. But anyway, we've been joined by a regular caller. Snake, you there, man? What's happening?
No, a lot, man. It's absolutely pouring out here.
It's not too different here, man. I can assure you.
Aye, same old. I've not spoke to anybody for a very long time. I've been busy with Christmas, New Year, work, parties, God knows what, you know, in here. So there you are. So did you have a nice Christmas and New Year, boys? Aye.
No bad, man. Aye, no bad.
Aye, I was there in Scotland, but I couldn't go. I was going to go to the Motherwell game, but I ended up getting hit with that norovirus and I couldn't go. I was raging.
The what?
The what?
Oh, the winter sickness, vomit.
Oh, right,
I got that too.
Whereabouts in Scotland are you from, Snake?
Glasgow, but
whereabouts? Don't give me that, Glasgow. Whereabouts?
Well, my family grew up in Springburn. I grew up most of my life in Bishopbriggs, but then my mother's...
Bishopbriggs, isn't it, Glasgow? Don't give me that.
No, but the family are for that part. Bishopbriggs is kicking the stains off Glasgow, but my mother's moved back into Springburn now, so there you go. So I was back in Springburn when I was there. One stage of my life I even lived in Easterhouse, so there you go.
Well, little West Cobo, mate, you've done the rounds, fair play to you.
So, Snake, was there anything in particular? We were just talking about transfers and the transfer window and hoping that we keep everybody. Can you see, are we still going to have Hooper come the Juventus game or what?
Well, I think it's becoming a big question now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I think Gary Hooper should stick it out to the summer and then get his move, because it's clear he's going to move. It's just a case of when. And he might get a better club if he plays against Juventus and does well than Norwich. I mean, Norwich are no heard with them. They're in the top league, but how long are they going to stay in the top league? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, imagine how sick you'd be, like, if you're Gary Hooper and you do move to Norwich and you're playing, you know, West Ham the same night Celtic are playing Juventus. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think any sensible young footballer could forego that, like, playing against Juventus for the sake of cash. You know, then again, I don't know Gary Hooper. I don't know modern footballers, so what am I talking about?
It's not just that as well. I think we forget the guys. Well, sorry, Jason.
So it's just, I think, just money, Joe. I think, to be honest with you, if Celtic are paying him 17, 18 grand a week and Norwich are offering him 45, I mean, anybody else would go. You would go.
I know, but I mean, like, he knows another club's going to come in with that same sort of wage in the summer anyway.
It's a big risk, though, eh? But you think about, Joe. See when we're talking about stay for the Champions League, right? You're talking about that could only be, hopefully it's not, but it could only be. We're not talking. It's not the start of the season, a Champions League campaign. We're talking about it could only be 2 more games, and you're talking about maybe giving up 20 to 25 grand a week to play in 2 games.
Yeah,
that's the big thing in it, like. And there's no guarantees that somebody else is going to come in. There's no guarantee he's not going to get a broken leg in February. Do you know what I mean? It is a big decision for the boy, but I just think he's talented enough to be at a better team than Norwich, and I'd be disappointed to see him go to Norwich.
I agree.
I thought he stood in the mirror as a child and thought to himself, one day I'll play for Norwich. You know what I mean?
There was something on some anonymous Twitter account. I don't follow it, so somebody had retweeted it saying that the figure they were looking at was 8.5 million, and the three clubs that were sniffing about him were Norwich, Everton, and Southampton still.
Everton, well, that's a lie, because Everton haven't got 8.5 million. No, unless they punt big for Lanny. They've not got 8.5 million.
Tell me this, how much money do you think Gary Hooper would be worth if he was playing for somebody like Fulham right now?
Depends if it's the same goal scoring record as us in the English Premiership, it'd be worth about 40 million.
That's isn't that ridiculous?
You look at that lad Zaha at Crystal Palace. That's never played in the Premiership. He's never played in Europe, and Sky Sports are casually starting the bidding at £10 million.
Aye, but I think for Gary Hooper, I think he's top class. I think if he goes to a better team, a team that's going to pay him more money, and he's got decent players on about him, I think he'll score goals wherever he goes. I just think he's a poacher. He's got an eye for goal. I think he's got that instinct that a goal scorer's got, and I think he can do it anywhere. But I don't know. I think English teams are a bit. They don't rate Scottish football, so they're not going to pay fortunes for players.
And Jason, see, the thing is as well, forget about what players get valued at because they're playing for an English team as to how much they're getting because they're playing in Scotland, right? Because the fact of the matter is, we just spoke about it there already, Bournemouth are paying a guy £7,000 a week. So I mean, that is the difference to Aberdeen paying £700 a week. And it's the same as Celtic. As you say, they can turn a player's head with the money that's on offer wages wise, so then they can lowball the club because the player can be saying, well, I want to go to that team. Do you know what I mean?
Can I throw something else into the mix here, actually?
What's that?
Can I throw something into the mix with this?
Of course you can.
Here's the thing. Never mind him going. What if we lose him? Who's going to step up to the plate and score the goals for us to get us through into higher rounds of cups? And who's going to potentially win us a treble and win us the league?
Oh no, we'll have to sign somebody. We can't go with the squad as is because we've not got an out-and-out poacher goal scorer with the finishing Gary Hooper at the club. As much as I like Anthony Stokes, he's not.
Still win the league.
Aye, but it's not to kick us on in Europe. I mean, he needs to be replaced, regardless whether it's now or in the summer. He needs to be replaced. We can't go with what we've got.
I don't know if Stokes could. He wouldn't be as good, I don't think. But I think
No,
Stokes could fill that.
Listen, the Sheriff's coming back.
The Sheriff.
I didn't want to mention him. I didn't want to throw him in there, but no, I wouldn't throw him in there. No chance.
I think if Hooper left, there's a good chance that we'd see somebody come up on loan till the end of the season. Probably a half. You could probably get a half decent player. In fact, you probably got a very good player to come up on loan till the end of the season, given the fact that he could come up and play 2 games against Juventus for a start.
That's a good point. Because hasn't he let him been in that big, massive, super Uber manager's conference for 3 days?
Yeah.
But who's going to be this player? What team in England's going to let a top goal scorer go on loan?
Well, there's things like there was talking like say Darren Bent. I mean, there is players out there who are kicking their heels round about clubs. Some of these clubs have excess players, man, big squads, decent teams in the EPL. There's decent players to be had. I mean, at Robbie Keane, whether you liked it or not, Robbie Keane came up and done a great job for Celtic. He ended up a top goal scorer and he got voted Player of the Year, right? There is players available at that calibre to come, especially when you've got that Juventus. That Juventus is a big carrot for a player to come on loan, like to get them up here. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a huge carrot, like. But this is, of course, only if we didn't have Hooper.
Aye. So let's get through all our players that we're talking about. What do we think? What's the consensus opinion with Hooper? Do we think he'll go in the summer? Do we think he'll go at this transfer window? What do you think, Harper?
I think he'll definitely not be here past the summer because he'll only have a year in his contract to go, so there's no way Celtic. He's not going to sign a new contract because I think he wants to go. He wants to go and play in England. He's English, so I mean, obviously his ambition is going to be to play in the English Premier League. Whatever team he supported as a boy, I have no idea. He's an Essex boy. You can imagine there was talk of West Ham coming in from, I think, last transfer window. I think if a club like that came in for him, he'd jump at his chance to go down there. He'll definitely be away in the summer. But I think if a club comes in with a bid around 7 to 8 million now, and it's a club he fancies, he'll be gone. That's my honest opinion now. Because Celtic will. It wouldn't take much more than 8 million, I don't think, for Celtic to say to deal him like.
Yeah, I would tend to agree, but I've got a feeling he'll be here at the summer.
I hope so. I hope he is here at the summer. Like.
What about Wanyama?
I think he'll definitely be here this summer.
Maybe yourself, Paul, what do you think?
I think, to be honest, I think he'll probably go in this window, but I don't think it'll be to Norwich, and I think it'll be from. I think the fact that Norwich have put a bid in will start the bid in elsewhere and start pushing up a few clubs. Wanyama, I've no real issues. I think Wanyama, he's pretty straight. He's like, he's kind of level-headed for a young boy, and that he kind of knows the score. He knows he's developing as a football player. And he's got 3 years left on his contract. 2.5 years left on his contract. So, there's no great rush for Wanyama. But Hooper, I do think he might probably go at the end of the. And I think Harper's hit the nail on the head. I think we'll probably replace him with a loan signing, or perhaps we, even play maybe the MLS or something like that. It's not playing right now. But I don't think Celtic will go out and sign a player for 3 or 4 million just to play in 2 games against Juventus.
See the thing about Wanyama when it comes to the summer, and I think it will be this summer. I can honestly see an English Premier League team coming in with 20 million plus to get to secure his services. He's that good, and I think they see he's that good. I mean, I think it was the Daily Mail had talk of Arsenal 25 million and everything today. I mean that's just paper talk, but I can see top clubs in England wanting him, and one of them will just go like that with the big transfer fee to get him, just to outfox the rest. If you know what I mean. He could go to any team in England, as far as I'm concerned.
I'd agree. I agree.
Because I think they will see a young guy in there that they can make even better. Do you know what I mean? And he's that good just now.
I saw paying 12 million for Walcott and Oxlade Chamberlain. They're not going to blink an eye paying 15, 20 million for one year.
I think he'll go for about 15, but other people are saying to me 10 because it's Scotland, but I would say 15. I wouldn't think any more than that. If MD went any more than that, it'd be daft, because Celtic would bite the hand off you for 15 million.
But the thing is, Jason, what I'm saying, I kind of agree with you, but what I'm saying is I could see an Arsenal and a Chelsea and maybe a Liverpool all wanting him. So they've all got to outbid each other. Do you know what I mean? And I think he's that good. Clubs would go to 20 million for him.
He's got Arsenal and Chelsea and Liverpool. You take the last one right out of the equation, because what the hell's the way to go?
But I'm only using, you know what I mean. I'm just trying to say that I could see a bidding war in the summer for 1 year.
Sure, what if it turns out to be your Real Madrid or something? You know what I mean? Because it could easily be them as well.
Oh, I could be anybody, aye.
Bayern Munich.
Aye.
New York Yankees.
Darby Nichols.
Aye.
I
tell you who'd be a quality signing and loan. Landon Donovan. Done the business forever in a few years. Right. I would take him.
How old is he now?
He'd be 30, early 30s, I would think.
Must be 30s, He's still with LA Galaxy, is he?
I'll take him in loan.
I think Cooper will leave, but I think it's important. You see what happened with the Newcastle get Ginola. They tried to bring that French lad in, and they ended up at QPR. I mean, it'll be like Charlie Adams last year when he was trying to move to Spurs. There'll be a lot. If we've got somebody lined up, I mean, obviously Lovell's a lot of things, but he's no daft. It's hold on to Hooper to the last minute. I mean, to me, the biggest travesty is you look at the most horrible man in English football, Alan Pardew, and Newcastle's getting scalped every week, and the Geordie fans haven't realised that they sold the best keeper in England 150 mile up the road for peanuts, and he's performing in Europe's best stage, and there's been no backlash to it yet.
I know, and Pardew's got an 8-year deal.
What date does the transfer window close?
Is it at the end of January?
Is it the very last date?
It's 11 o'clock on the 29th or something.
The 29th.
29th, aye.
Because as I agree with somebody, Jim for Rutherglen in the chat room there saying we didn't want to lose Hooper on the last day, and we can't get a replacement in.
That's where you get your most money, but
I know that's when you get your most money. I mean, it's one of these. I would like to think we would have someone lined up, but then you can have guys lined up all you want who you think you're going to get, but somebody else could come in and get it in front of you. When you leave it to the last day, it's a real sort of crapshoot, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what you're saying. If we're going to get the more money for Hooper in the last day, that means we're going to have to find more money to get somebody to replace him.
It's all, I know, it's all interlinked as well. Because getting the property market and forcing you getting that house for a steal, but you're not getting as much for your own house when you're selling it.
I hate that last day, the transfer window, and I love it at the same time because I hate it, and I have that skin. Nothing ever happens to Celtic, and there's rubbish, but I'm still on Celtic minded and Kerrydale Street, refreshing them every 10 minutes to see what all the stupid rumours are. And I hate it and I love it at the same time. It drives me nuts.
The biggest deal for me was Jamie Oliver signing up for Man City today. The catering, that's the same mob the day Celtic.
What?
Well, you just get us catered.
I know, you're obsessed, man.
Honest, I'm telling you, right? We need a ban in that for the Huns.
It's about time you go started back on the drink.
I'm fed up with people going to Parkhead coming out look like Schindler's List. I want everybody back coming out that ground. Jamie Oliver has taken over the catering. He's been approached by the company who did Celtic's catering as well. He's been signed. I said that like I tweeted that last week. It was in the Manchester Evening News. Jamie Oliver is redesigning all the food from the corporate right down to the punter's grub.
Here, Stephen, why do we know if Norwich want Hooper that bad, why do we know they a deal for 8 million and we get Delia to take over the catering?
I'd have only took Keith Floyd, God rest his boots. Eyes, that'd have been the future.
Nothing wrong with a bit of Delia out in the park pushed. Didn't say you wouldn't because you would.
I've no idea what you're talking about.
Right, listen, that's coming up to 8:30. Will I get this raffle done?
Aye,
right, if one of you can have the names and numbers up in front of you, has anybody done that?
Jesus, hold on, I'll pull it up now.
Right, what I'm going to do is, right, for anybody that's listening, so we're doing this live, right, and I've got a number generator on my iPad, right, so I'm going to video that with my iPhone, and then I'll read the numbers out. You'll see it's all above board because it's getting videoed, and after the show I'll get that video posted up on YouTube just so you can see everything's above board, and the names are all against numbers as 1 to 100. So you got that there, Joe? Right, here we go. So 1 to 100. Right now, let's just switch this on.
How many numbers are you generating here, Harper? How many prizes?
Joe, go and just read that blog. Many prizes at 4, eh?
Hold on a second.
The first prize and there's 3 runners up
First
prizes.
prize is the big one. Okay. The second prize is Neil Lennon large print and Roy Keane A4 size print. Third prize is Henrik Larsson large print and Billy McNeil A4 print. And fourth prize is Shunsuke Nakamura large print.
So there's 4 prizes.
Oh, so I'll go for the big one first.
Is there 1 big prize and 3 runners up or 4 runners up?
There's 1 big prize and 3 runners up.
So there's 4 numbers up to get. Oh, and just the other thing, I know I said to everybody you'll get the Lost Boys books PDFs, and I've not done that yet, but you will get them an email in the next week. I've been snowed under, to be honest, I forgot. But there you go. Right, so just waiting out till I get my video. Here we go. It's all high tech stuff.
First prize first, or is it?
We'll do the first prize first, eh?
Right. Or do we might make it suspenseful and go like fourth prize, third prize, second prize, no?
No, first prize. First number's got to be the first prize.
How you doing this live so that they can watch it?
No, I'm videoing it and I'm going to put it on YouTube just so they know it's above board.
Alright, okay.
What do you think? I've got a bloody studio here.
Right, okay.
I've got an iPad.
You're going to do earlier on that was right above my head. I had no idea.
Right. So just stop talking because he'll hear the wee right. With the iPad, maybe. Right, it's turned right up. So here we go. Everybody in the chat room. Joe, you've got the names and numbers in front of you.
I do indeed.
If it's your number that comes up, it's got to be a travesty.
Oh, right. Mario, that's it.
Right, here we go. Video on. Right. Is that recording? Right. Generate number. Right, here we go. First number. 44.
Number 44. Craigie Owens.
Craigie Owens. So Craigie Owens has won the big prize that includes playing at Celtic Park. Blah, blah, blah. So I'll get in contact with Craigie Owens. He's Craigie Owens on Twitter. He's a good guy. Happy days. Right, so runner-up, first runner-up prize. Number 6.
Jason Higgins.
That's Jason Higgins. Oh, no.
You're worse than Bobby Higgins.
Stick it back in.
You know what, Nick? You were only wanting to play in the game, eh? Right, we'll go again. Jason's not wanting it. Right, so first runner-up prize. 31.
31. Frederick Tracy.
Frederick Tracy. You take a note of these, Joe, eh?
Oh, Jesus, no, hold on.
Then I'll write down the numbers. 44, 31. Right.
Bit of paper.
Next runner-up prize. 36.
36. Adam McFarlane.
Adam McFarlane. 46. And last runner-up prize. 59.
Yay. John Davila, or Davila.
Oh, happy days. I'm glad he won because he bought 50 quid's worth of tickets.
I did, he bought pretty few.
Right, so that's it. Bye-bye.
What's his number again? 58?
59.
Yeah.
So the
I feel
guys
a bit
that
so-
want to get in contact with you through Twitter with their address and stuff like
I've
that.
got all their email addresses there, man.
What was the first one again? 44, right?
44. I feel a bit sorry for Paddy Ryan, for the Ryans band, because he bought 100 quid's worth of tickets. But there you go.
10 years ago.
21 year old. He's lost him. So Craig Owens, I don't know if he's in the chat room at the minute or what, but you've won the big thing. You'll be the second half sub when I come off after about 7 minutes.
I was just going to say that. I haven't come on. I've been the first half.
Right,
She'll
so
be going after 6 minutes, can you get away?
listen.
Hampers get the oxygen dead.
We've only got.
Thomas Roke this week.
We just had a caller there, but he's disappeared. Tom in Glasgow's trying to get in touch. That could take up.
He's phoning for the Champers bar and Harvey's.
That could be the last 25 minutes of the show. That could be the last 25 minutes of the show if he gets through. Because we are cutting off at 9 o'clock tonight, folks.
Mind that they go Pater, so he's got limited conversation.
Listen, just before Tommy comes back, and maybe we get snowed under by his patter. We've not touched on obviously the very sad passing a Celtic legend, Sean Fallon, who I had the absolute pleasure of meeting a long time ago. One of the Celtic supporters dances in Alloa. He was there. I'm sure it was the night Simon Donnelly was there. And Simon actually left early because he said he had to go and let his dugout or something stupid like that. I can't remember. But Sean stayed the night, and he was an absolute gentleman, a credit. And when you think about that, even I know we've gone back then, it was 15 years ago or whatever. But to be that age, he must have been he was obviously in his 70s then, to still be going out and attending functions the way he was, and the high regard he was held in by the Celtic sport was absolutely brilliant. And he never had enough time for everybody. So it was absolutely great man. A big, massive loss to the Celtic community. And the boys were at the game. I never seen it. You said there was a great tribute to Sean, and the Hearts fans joined in. So that was great to see. Paul, I'll probably come to you. You're sort of our historian, if you like. Any special memories of Sean Fallon or anything you'd like to share, man?
Just, an immense contribution to Celtic, as a player playing in the 7-1 team, as an assistant manager spotting so many of the Quality Street Gang and people like Tommy Gemmell and that as well, and as a person, who lived, slept and breathed Celtic Football Club, and it was a fantastic rounding of the circle to see him unfurl the flag at the start of the season. And just, a great Celtic legend, and I'm glad there's a book coming out of him because it is a great untold story, his contribution to Celtic Football Club. And one of the famous stories was obviously him and his wife sitting in a car on their anniversary where they went up in Dublin and signed Kenny Dalglish for us. So, a great man, a great Celtic man, and a sad loss for everybody connected to Celtic.
Yeah, and I'm just, it's excellent that he's had a great life, do you know what I mean? It wasn't like he's been took phase too early, so 90 years old, so that's a fair old innings, and I suppose it's no comfort to his loved ones and stuff like that, but I think if we all can sort of have an innings like that, and I think guys at that age, see the 1950s, I don't know, I think is there one other still living, Paul, for the 7-1 team?
Yes, that's right,
aye. So he was the second last survivor of that great, iconic Celtic team. But when you think the conditions that they played then, and they fitbas that they were heading and stuff like that. If it was a waterlogged park, it was like a bloody medicine ball, you know. But I think my grand is immortal words for Sean Fallon says he wasn't the best player, but he ran through a brick wall. And his contribution to Celtic is up there with the greatest.
Parrot, you had something you wanted to share?
There was one of the old guys I sat beside the old taxi mafia. They were saying that there was one of the guys in the somebody blogged it the other day, talked about a player who played for the team that's no longer with us in Glasgow. Was a guy called Sammy Baird, who was the hardest player in Scottish football. When the press leaflet wrote about how he bullied everybody, the refs gave him carte blanche, he could do what he wanted. The only man in Scottish football who put him in his arse was Sean Fallon. But there was a couple of great articles in the Herald and the Scots when they regurgitated. Paul said that the book's coming out by Stephen Sullivan coming out, but there was a quote here that's one of the night. It's the first time I've ever seen it. One of the loveliest quotes about Celtic I've seen, and it's about Mr. Fallon talking about Jimmy McGrory's team speech before the 7-1 game. It says the following, quote, and it says, "Of course we were elated at the end," added the left back, "but more for the supporters and ourselves. I remember the manager, Mr. Jimmy McGrory's team talk. Very stirring, so it was. He told us to think about all those people who stood out there in the rain, hail and snow, and how much we owed them. For God's sake," he said, "give them a performance today. I think they were pretty enamoured with what they did, or what we did." So that was a great man.
Joe?
Absolutely.
Sean Fallon's, I only really knew of him through books and DVDs and stuff, obviously. But, if you're going to say that somebody is a Celtic man, I think you'll just point to someone like Sean Fallon, and he embodies everything about being a Celtic man, I think. And it's sad to see him go, but like I said, 90 years of age, and the career and the life and the experiences, everything he's seen, it's, you only wish that you'd get as much done in your lifetime as he got done in his. Do
you know what, Spike Snake? Do you know what I loved, Sean Fallon? I loved listening to him speak because he had that real deep voice, that Sligo accent, and it was a real, it was an authoritative voice. It was one of these guys, one of these voices that when he starts speaking, you just listen. Do you know what I mean? He just had, it was like a bass guitar, if you like, I don't know, a bass drum, or there was something musical about his voice. I don't know, it was encapsulated. What about yourself, Snake?
I just remember, I never obviously saw the man play, but I remember watching one of the old Celtic history videos, and he was talking about the 7-1 game, and he said you could have got a circus through the Rangers' defence on that particular day, in that same drawl and accent. It was brilliant. But fun enough, I was talking to my mother about Sean Fallon, obviously passing on, and she said that he used to go to things like Irish dancing functions and all, and when she was a wee lassie, she was a dancer, and she said that it always had time for everybody, always had time for the Waynes, always encouraged them. Even he wasn't probably that big into Irish dancing, but I think maybe folk in his own family were at it, and he attended functions like that in Glasgow, and I believe probably in Ireland as well. But she said that he came up and spoke to loads of folk and said, "Well done, brilliant." Great encouragement, and that's a guy who got a lot out of life because he put a lot into life, and very sad to see him die, but at the same time, as other folk have all said, he was a right good age and he lived a lot longer than the other management team at the time, so glad he got to unfurl that flag at the end of the day. That would have been special for him. Yeah,
it definitely was.
Yeah, here.
If you just want to carry on between yourselves, I'm going to try and get Tommy on because he sent me a message, he's wanting to come on. So
listen, boys, I'll hang up. See you again. Have a nice
Snake.
All the best,
cheers,
mate.
Snake, man. Happy New Year.
Cheers.
Right, I'm just going to try and get Tommy on. Jason, I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about, anything in particular.
No, nothing enough. I'm just
I
happy.
believe they asked me for that transfer, they were so very quiet.
Right, geez, some of your fish, mate. Your tweets have died up a wee bit.
I'm sticking to you. I'm just focusing on getting the sheriff back, mate. You know what I mean? No, I've heard nothing at all. Reference in the media world that it's the BBC's going through a big change now. They keep checking the show, but they had somebody on for the Daily Ranger on BBC begging, saying that now for all overseas listeners, if you get constipation problems, the Daily Record that is free now on the iPad and the iPhone.
There you go.
Monday to Friday you can read it, but no, I've not heard anything. I mean, what Paul was saying about, I think it's amazing how we talk about guys like who John Parts brought to the club, but from one of the articles says, Paul said the Quality Street gang, I mean, Sean Fallon brung Simpson, Gemmell, All, Murdoch, Dalglish, McGrain, McCarry, Conley, Hay and McStay to Celtic.
Bloody hell.
You know, wasn't the deal when Jack Stevens first came to Celtic that Sean Fallon would do like the footballing side of things and Jack Stevens turned it down at first, didn't he? Am I right there, Paul, or am I wrong?
No, you're wrong. I mean, the thing is, you have to understand when Joe Stevens first came to Celtic, that was the first time a football manager ever picked a football team at Celtic Park, because it was always picked by the board. And we should also not forget the fact that when Joe Stevens had a car accident, it was Sean Fallon took over as manager of the club. Yep. And then he probably wasn't, I think he did himself, he was never a manager himself. Billy McNeil said last week that, you know, Big Job was never a peacemaker, so that's why Sean Fallon was good at the job. And it appears to me to be, given the kind of the way that people talk about him and the immense contribution he made to the club, it appears to me of being like the Tommy Burns of that era. You know, that's the way I would kind of describe him.
Aye, some of the other players would have related to he'd have been the guy that cajoled them and picked them up when they were down and stuff like that.
Because he was there a long, long time. He was 13 years assistant manager, and that's not including the years as a player, obviously. He
played for them 50 to 58. Mm-hmm. And he got 8 Republic Ireland caps as well, between 50 and 55. Mm-hmm. So, so it's just, I think as well, getting away from Sean Fallon, but the signing of Gershon and the Rodnick, I think it's great as well that the media know nothing about these guys until we've signed them again. You know, I just think how Celtic play the transfer market and nobody's got a clue what we're up to. And I just love that. That the media hounds in Scotland never find out anything until it's just a bit done.
That's because they've not got their Stephen.
That's it. See, we know the parrot tells us about a week in advance.
Oh, yeah.
That helps. That helps us.
I remember a week 5 party pies, then you go.
Did you get Thomas?
Well, I got him and then he cut off again, so I don't know if you just want to wrap it up, if you've got anything else you want to talk about, anything else.
Maybe the baseball fans put them onto a re-podcast for yesterday, Harper.
Carry on, man.
I thought it was a nice podcast.
Well, it was actually a Dodgers.
With a twist.
It was actually a Dodgers podcast.
Aye, it was excellent. Nicky's dad was on. Old Brooklyn Dodgers supporter, talking about history and stuff like that. Brilliant. Oh, what a listen, I could have just sat there. Squalls, Pasquale, could have listened to him all night. Just absolutely brilliant, wasn't it?
Paul, do you know what the interesting thing was? He says, without going too much into things, not to bore people who are not into baseball, but I mean, the Brooklyn Dodgers left when he was 7. 5 years, he went and watched the Yankees wanting them to get beat, and then the Mets came, so he's been there in the Mets' entire history, 50 years. He says if the Brooklyn Dodgers came back, he'd drop the Mets. That'd be it. He'd be back to being a Brooklyn Dodgers fan. I thought that was amazing, considering he's been supporting the Mets for 50 years.
Right. You know what? I've heard people say exactly the same thing about the LA Raiders and the Oakland Raiders, you know, because they were in Oakland first, then they went to LA, now they're back in Oakland.
Aye.
LA Raiders fans didn't support the Oakland Raiders, but they all say if you came back to LA tomorrow, I'd be right back there.
Because LA's not got a gridiron team at all now, they had 2, shared the same stadium. But it's interesting because he says, let's face it, I'm still a Dodgers fan. He says, I've always been a Dodgers fan, but the Mets are my team now, so if the Dodgers come back, he says, sorry Mets, but I'm off.
No, it was a great listen. Anybody who's probably got even just an interest in New York could sit and listen to that, and just because I just sit and listen to the accents, like forget about it.
That was excellent. That was good stuff.
So
what's our predictions for tomorrow then?
Aye, tomorrow night I'm going to take Celtic to win 4-1 again.
You think so?
Aye.
I don't know.
It's not live on television or anything, is it?
No, it's just that rearranged game for the earlier on in the season. I'd say Celtic 3-1.
Joe?
Yeah, I would.
Paul?
I'll just say I would agree with that. I think it'll be 3-1 Celtic, and I'll be another Gary for double.
Joe?
Right.
I'm going to go 2-1.
Parrot?
3-0 Bangura hat-trick. Got to believe, suckers, you got to believe. Can I just say that, and this is totally off football, great news that Glasgow George Square's actually been saved, but they're not going to spend the £15 million, take all the statues out and bastardise it for anybody overseas. I was talking to Chaz on text earlier, the mayor of Glasgow was caught in an uncompromising position last week with another man. I mean, the man's openly gay anyway, so it's going to be probably called the George Michael Square instead of George Square. Freeze back. The statue, so that anybody overseas, the city's safe. We're not getting trammed or anything.
Right, mate. Parrot, on that note, right, we've just been joined by Tommy, so I want to try and get him on in case he cuts off again. Tommy, you there, man? Right, Parrot, to steal some of your part, he's obviously on the old cash and carry.
I've not said it all night. I've not said it all night.
I know, he's gone again, he's cut off again, so no, I think we'll just wrap it up at that, will we? HomeBhoys down under, back on Friday, Paul, 10:30.
Back on Friday, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Part time, AM, that is.
Right, happy days. The winners of the raffle, I've got all your emails addressed, obviously. I'll be emailing you shortly. If you were in the raffle, you will receive PDF copies of Lost Boys 1, 2 and 3. Now, the guy, Craig Owens, he's not tweeted for 5 hours, so he doesn't know yet. But your prizes, they'll come in dribs and drabs.
What was the runner-up prizes? What was the runner-up prizes?
The runner-up prizes were the prints.
All right.
So
bloody, I thought there was a PDF file, that's why I gave mine away.
It was a print, the second runner-up prize was a big print of Neil Lennon and a wee one of Roy Keane.
I remember when the PDF meant something completely different. Remember that, Jason?
What was that, mate?
There's the Pendant Fund.
I mean, me and Harper were in there for a few pints.
Joe was there.
That's right, good fun.
PD club, boy. Right. Okay, let's just wrap this up. So you'll get your books, you'll get them. They'll maybe take me a week or 10 days or something, but you'll get them. And the prizes, they'll not go out until the weekend at the very earliest, because I'm just snowed under with work and all stuff like that. So, right, guys, that's it. Looking forward to some HomeBhoys Down Under on Friday. I can't believe nobody ate themselves live on there. It disappointed me. You boys are made of chocolate. I can't believe this.
I know. So back next week, and then we'll maybe get a wee European special before the UV game.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Cool, man. Right. I'm just going to play out with a wee bit jinky singing Passing Time, because I love it. Right, lads. Take it easy.
Help.
Help.
Passing time, everyone's passing time, everyone their whole life through, passing time like me and you. Children play their cares away, life is fun, life is gay, building castles out of sand, living in their wonderland. Lovers know time goes by, days are long, minutes fly, fleeting glances mean so much, a lover's sigh, a lover's touch. passing time. Everyone's passing time. Everyone their whole life through, passing time like me and you. Time to laugh, time to cry, time for us to wonder why. Moments precious when they're gone, memories that linger on. Summer sun, winter snow, autumn leaves, spring's aglow, raining changes in the sky, passing time like you and I, passing time, passing time, everyone's passing time, everyone their whole life through, passing time like me and you, everyone their whole life through, passing